you seriously need to grow a pair. How about we settle for D?
It packs a huge punch and has 4 cool elemental upgrades. If by 4 cool elemental upgrades you mean 4 uninspired and forgettable rip-offs of the stats, a fair chance the Thunder Jacket kicks ass.
Calm down, Joe, before you have a heart attack. I'll take your opinion into consideration and throw them all into C tier.
Way too high for these sorry excuses for Wonder Weapons.
Well, this next one I think is a really good one. The Alistair's Folly. I'll give you this from there. The Alistair's
Chaos. This thing is easy to take here.
Joe, I have to agree. It's definitely one of the better Wonder Weapons from Black Ops 4.
Sorry, Trump. I'm with the Democrats on this one. A tier. You're such a rhino, George. Sad. Come on, we're all friends here.
Joe's right. I'm putting this at A tier. It's a fitting place. Next up is the Savage and Tail.
Fuck this shit. Who the hell would ever go out of their way to get this? I never have and never will. Such a waste of time. F tier. No question. I don't really see the point in getting this. It's confusing and annoying to build. It's really not any stronger than most weapons you can find in the box. I didn't even know this thing existed until right now. F tier.
Yeah, I figured nobody would be defending this shit. F tier it goes. Next up is the
Good trade, my friend. You'll be your major help for the playoffs.
Oh, fuck off. Next to those shitty ray guns from Alpha Omega.
Hey, man, these were cool. They just had the unfortunate luck of being on such a dog shit, man.
I like how you could do the wheel weapon. Other than that, they're pretty average Wonder weapons. Yeah, I never really used these. The regular ray gun Mark II was just as good, if not better, so they were pretty pointless in my opinion. I'm fine with C tier for these. Just like everything on Alpha Omega, these are a waste of time. D tier.
Well, I personally think they're D tier, but I can settle for C. Next up is Joe's favorite, the Thunder Gun.
The Thunder Gun is powerful and has a cooler aesthetic than the only Thunder Gun, in my opinion. The Thunder Gun is overused and overrated. Wrong. So very wrong. Joe, you're probably the only man on the planet who thinks the Thunder Gun is better. It's dog shit. Like I said earlier, it's the reason the Thunder Gun has come back so many times. It's one of the best Wonder weapons. Nobody cares about or even remembers the Thunder Gun.
I agree, George. It's so that they put the original Thunder Gun on panel because they knew people would hate it. D tier for me.
Not worth Wonder weapon. I mean, who wants to use this over the DT2?
For once, I agree with you, Johnny Boy. This thing just feels so compared to the original Law, and it's nowhere near as cool as the Scavenger. Yeah, not really sure why they decided to make some weird Wonder Walk with Thunder Guns instead of bringing back the Scavenger or Neon some cool new weapon. It's a D tier.
Yeah, fuck this thing. D tier. Oh, great. Now we're at Cold Store Zombies. Man, I love this game so much.
We know you do, Joe. You're such a...
Obama's right, Sloppy Joe. You'll never be a real Zombies player like the rest of us. Try getting to round 100 on Call of the Dead like me.
Donald, it's impossible to get to round 100 on Call of the Dead with IMDb.
Shut up, Bush. Need I remind everyone that you ride us into the illegal one?
Oh, shit. Tell him, Don.
Guys, let's get back on track. First up is the Dye Shockwave and its variants. These things look awesome. They reminded me of my precious jet gun. That said, they still are just pale imitations. I think they belong in C tier.
I never really liked them. They felt uninspired compared to what we had in the past. C tier is fine enough. I can accept C tier. They were definitely the weakest Wonder weapons in Cold War. All right, next we have the Ray K4. This is a pretty solid Wonder weapon in my opinion. It's an obvious throwback to the Mark III from Gordon Kirk, but even better. I think it belongs in D tier.
I do think this was a step up from the Dye Shockwave. It melted zombies and was really satisfying to use. B tier is fine with me. I think it's A tier, but I know that's probably too much to ask, so I can settle for B. That works for me. I didn't play much Firebase Z, so I really don't care.
Okay, next is the Cerberus pistol from Mauer the Toad.
This one was pretty unique. I love the different upgrades you could get for it. This was probably the peak of this game for Wonder weapons. The only thing I didn't like were those annoying-ass characters that would talk to you when you used it.
Yeah, I could have done without that. The only one I don't think it's another A tier.
If any Cold Store Wonder weapon has to go into A tier, I'm okay with just this one.
All right, we're almost done with it. Finally, we have the crystalline.
FFF, the safety sucks and so does this wonder weapon.
Whoa, hold up, Jack. You haven't even given this thing a chance. I know for a fact you never even bothered playing for safety. This is an A-tier wonder weapon.
I don't need to play it sneaky. I've seen what happens when you put Burger Town into a zombies map. It never ends well.
To be fair, Captain's far better than infecting from exo zombies. The crystal axe is actually a pretty fun wonder weapon. I would put it in B-tier myself. But I didn't still enjoy it. It's a fun weapon with a cool visual design. Being able to switch between the gun form and axe form is good. Solid idea for me as well. I think we should compromise with B-tier since Donald hates it so much.
Well, it's not the worst tier list I've ever seen.
It's not exactly how my list would look, but at least we got through them all together. This was fun, boys.
Yeah, this was fun, guys. Jill's about to put me to bed and read me my bedtime story, so I'm going to hop off. Good night.
I think I'm going to go too, guys. I hear Michelle yelling for me to come give her a foot massage. Good night. I guess I just leave you in each front.
Sorry, George, I'm in the mood for McDonald's, so I'm heading out too. Talk to you later.
What the hell? Everyone just standing like the Twin Towers. Guess I'll play solo game with Diane. President Obama here. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you like this, please remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, as more videos are on the way. Please share this video with anyone you think would enjoy it, and stay tuned to see more of the presidential drop board. Stay safe, everyone, and God bless. There's a proven way to enhance athletic performance.
The hand-to-hand offers some of the more fun weapons that come out of the DLC, and these sometimes actually very comparable to things like fist-based weapons, and other really close-range and twin-based strike options. Now the difference is that these are actually less damage, less stand damage, and these figures have faster hit sets, which unfortunately for the hand-to-hand weapons have to compete with things like the Starfish, the Iron Balls, and those kind of heavy attacks that are literally faster than heavy attacks on these weapons, and combined with boots of damage, boots, stance damage, they tend to be pretty tough fast, plus they do have their own specific things going to them that make them still be a very viable and good option, especially with some of the recent updates that I need have brought on some buffs. Since they released the DLC that have since gotten some more damage, and they also do have a speed increase with their uncut and heavy attacks. And the heavy attacks is actually what makes them very viable, because unironically, uncut heavy attacks is it faster than the length of the enemies at once. So if you like the aesthetic of fist-based weapons, but if you ever care much for the Starfish with their really short range and pretty boring moveset, I would recommend going with the hand-to-hand weapons, as these heavy attack combos are going to be more versatile and easier to use. Now another thing that you actually have going for them is going to be their weapon skill option. They really don't have as many compared to some of the other weapon types, as the new weapon have the skills like hit the ground directly, and I want to different types of weapon buffs, because unfortunately the certain types of weapon buff and also things like Spike Blade or Flash Attack or spell like one Flame Blade, but they do have their own two specific skills in Palm Blast and Violate Relevant, which are both very solid options, and in almost every single time that I'm building around these weapons, I'm probably going to use one or the other. Violate Forward is probably better for status type to build, but Palm Blast I think is the better one overall, and it's kind of the one that I actually have the most fun with as well. Unfortunately, actually, now this is like really different time, so it doesn't feel like the most of the damage, does like 8 stance damage, and this gets a little bit of height trouble, and honestly, it's not really that good of a skill to use uncharged, because they have attacks and uncharged heavy attacks to use directly as passive, but the 4 charge burst is definitely where it shines, because this can basically have infinite high barometer weakness in basically anything in the game, and it's straight out of bosses in this one massive punch attack that can do amazing damage, there are the 30 stance damage, and it's still really far as well, and it's actually deceptively large range to the point where it can be served as like a nice easy projectile, but it's still going to use so many different types of enemies and bosses. all small types of enemies are going to get sent flying to the ground, and if you're having problems raiding a boss's moveset, you can just bullet charge this thing up and probably end up trading out of them, unless you are like at really higher levels. And you go. The current models are one of the more interesting weapon categories to come out of the DLC, as the weapon actually does fire out a bunch of these range-based AoE attacks that don't consume any types of MP, and honestly, these are actually somewhat underrated, and it's to the point that if these things could work with the multi-hit talismans, these will easily be an S2 artifact in this game. But to start off with the downsides, they do tend to get some pretty poor DPS, as the damage of these things are a bit higher than stuff like curve swords and straight swords, but the speed of the movesets are just as slow as things like a Great Hammer. And for these slow movesets, they don't really get good stance damage either, which is very comparable to things like the Whips. And just like the Whips, they also just get no critical attack options, so even if you do manage to get a stance break, you're not going to benefit as much. They also do get like a limited amount of actual options available to them compared to every other different type of weapon category, and they do have their own couple of unique actions that you can put onto these, but overall they don't really have fun. And also, I did mention they don't work with the multi-hit talismans, which is a shame because this other type can actually have the potential to hit so many times in quick succession, but thankfully at the very least it can work with the perfume talisman, which is a nice alternative anyway, as just equipping the talisman is at 20% more damage with basically every single attack. And as for some more positives, it is extremely light, only 1 unit for basically every single perfume model. It is a paired weapon as well, so just shooting it does tend to be power denting combo, and the power denting combo isn't actually terrible at all, as the movesets do hit simultaneously, which is much better compared to some of the other weapon categories that actually like swinging one at a time and have these really sluggish movesets. Also, every single one of the projectiles do have this lingering effect. When you shoot out the perfume, the hitboxes stay around like 3 times as long compared to any other different type of weapon you get, and it's to the point that you can just shoot it out and there's nothing enemies walking toward it. And for the full nuts, it actually gets some of the best range too. They can get more range things like the pipe, and it gets just as much range as things like whips. Actually, even more if you do hit with an heavy attack. With a big charge heavy attack, not only goes really far, but does it in a 360-degree radius, so any single time you're surrounded by a bunch of trash mobs, this can clean them out very quickly. And it also is going to be the best way to kill things like knights and omens, as it's going to be like their own move that you can stagger these enemies with, and you can just straight up stun lock and chase all of them very easily. That's not going to be the best in terms of stance breaking enemies or in terms of DPS, so when you have these longer openings against some bosses, I would just much rather just light attack spam more so than use the charged heavy attacks. But the charged heavies and even the uncharged heavies do complement the weapon perfectly. But even then, the best part about the entire moveset is going to be its running heavy attack that does shoot up these AoEs to the side of the character, which can be very hard to connect against smaller types of enemies, and it can have a longer animation. Or when it actually uses attack against some slightly larger enemies as point blank range, you're going to hit for the entire AoE combo, and it's going to be doing a lot of damage, especially if you have the running attack buffs equipped. The Lettuce Armor and the Lacerating Frost Tree, both these things stack, and this helps boost the damage of the running attack by an additional 25%. It's going to be easy to use, it's going to be doing amazing damage, some respectable stand damage, and it's going to be a way to just knock all these different types of larger bosses, being that most of these are just pure elemental damage. One thing you can actually bring to multiple different defenses, and when using buffs like the Scorpion Pounds or the Elemental Teas, you're going to gain the max out potential out of these, because you're not getting any split physical damage. So I think these are a very solid primary option, and a very good like secondary option for dexterity builds, being that all these scale best off dexterity. It just gives you access to all these damage types without just having to spec into this one stat. And the perfume models do have 2 separate unique actions of what you can equip with them, one being Wall Sparks and the other one being Rolling Sparks. And I do think that Rolling Sparks is still the better option. Yes, even after the nerf, I still consider it to be somewhat viable. But in my opinion, both of these things are actually outclassed by the moveset itself of the perfume models. So honestly, it might be to the point that things like Quick Step or even Bloodhounds that might be the best option for these. As for Wall of Sparks, I just think this one is just directly outclassed by the heavy attack, as both of these do serve as this wide AoE that can like stagger enemies pretty well and do an okay amount of damage. Now the thing is, the heavy attack does basically just as much damage in a faster animation, do more stance damage without having to consume any FP. Wall of Sparks does still go a little bit further and do like a little bit more damage, especially with the Shroud of Alexander equipped, but it's not that much more, and it's still like a bit too risky for me to want to use it over the heavy attack. And in terms of Rolling Sparks, it can actually serve as a really nice range projectile, and this thing can go really far distances. Now the problem is, when the damage is not going to be good unless you hit with like a lot of the different explosions, which typically is only going to be a thing against large types of bosses. And if you're fighting larger bosses, as I mentioned, with the right heavy attack, which is going to be better, it's going to be faster, more consistent, more stance damage, do it in a faster animation, and does not consume any FP, but it still does go really far, so using it against larger bosses at these further distances could be pretty good, but against smaller single targets, it's just not worth it. And the skill that does not get any cracking, have like a longer animation, and damage isn't really quite there. And it's at the point that you could just use base for instead, which you can also infuse onto the perfect models, and that skill is just going to do more damage against these smaller enemies, and just go further. But if you wanted to use base draw, you probably just turn off this equipment that onto a dagger with a dexterity build, because the perfect models, you can only have them standard infused, so having like few weapons is going to result in higher damage. So yes, unfortunately, the actual options that the perfect models have are kind of big. But the battle at the bottom of the frenzy displaying a perfect bottle, this one is the lowest damaging perfect bottle in the game by a decent amount, unless you have really high levels, where ironically it actually is the highest damaging one, but it's only when you have like 18 every single stat, because this thing does have scalings in 4 different stats. But if you are like anything below the level like 300, then I will just use any other perfect bottle. But the reason why it does get 4 damage is because it does have a good status effect,
literally give you 10 free chances to win $1,000 every day. Dude, look at this. I don't know how long this
is. Bad weapon by any means. And if you actually did want to go with like a primary trophy bottle build, this one might be the option for you. But as I mentioned, trophy bottles are probably best as secondary options, and this one is practically useless as a secondary option. And this weapon actually does give you some good magic damage and a split intelligence scaling. If you are going to go with an intelligence build, you already have access to magic damage with all the different types of spells that you can use, but also just really cheap and really quick, and you have other spells that can help you pop frost as well, and even faster than what this weapon can actually do for you. Now this weapon actually does scale a bit of dexterity, so going into a pure dexterity build actually will give you access to pure magic damage, which typically you don't have access to when you go in pure dexterity. But the thing is that it's like borderline useless, as magic damage is like the most neutral damage type in the entire game. There are a very small amount of enemies in the game that are weaker to it or even resist to it, but as a primary option it can perform okay. It's not going to get as much damage as things like the fire spark bottle or the lightning bottle, but the trade-off thing is that it does get some passive frost buildup, which frost is an amazing status effect as it can debuff enemies to make them take a flat amount of damage, and just make them take more damage over the next 20 seconds. Now the frost buildup is not that high, it is only 60 frost buildup, where you have like a cold infused weapon, it's typically going to give you over 100 frost, but this weapon is a hand weapon, so you're hitting with 2 different weapons at once, so it can do pretty well. And it's like the heavy attack can make it do like about 150 frost in just one hit. But the reason why I'm going for the other perfect bottles is because those traders get better so you can do with bots like flame damage strength or other different types of base bots. And even if you do accounts for the bot debuff, those ones are probably still going to get more damage. Especially because you can pop bots with any single type of build. Just throw something like killing bench after one for a dagger, and you see that on the side of every single boss fight, and it's got a top bottom instantly. But being able to do that with your primary option without having to use any FP does make it very convenient. Also, there's probably one person out there that's going to mention this, but it's not good for a Frost Fire build at all. Frost Fire builds are basically useless and just terrible in almost every single instance, and the perfect models probably make one of the worst Frost Fire builds as well. Number 3, the Deadly Poison Perfect model, which this is actually the only physical perfect model in the game, and the only one that cannot be infused. It does actually get you a split dexterity and arcane-based scaling, and it actually is split even in both. Typically with the perfect model, you'll rescale a bit better of dexterity. So at higher levels, it actually can get some pretty decent damage. Now the base damage to that one is pretty low, and to the point that almost every other perfect model can then straight up out damage this one, even if you're at maximum level. Now the funny thing is, even then, it actually can get the highest amount of damage. Usually how many bots that you actually can pair alongside with this. It is really light and it does physical damage, so therefore you can use stuff like the Void Dancer's Charm. It's actually going to pop Deadly Poison very quickly, which Deadly Poison still isn't like the most amazing thing, but it's still going to be much better than regular poison, and it only does last 30 seconds, so it's better to keep the uptime of buffs like the Kinder of Heart Exaltation, Mushroom Crown, and that Poison Hand. And when you have all of these buffs active, you can definitely do more damage than all these other perfect bottles, but only when you have these really high amounts of levels, because even if you have all these buffs active at like 80 dexterity and 40 arcane, even stuff like the fire spot perfect model for its damage, so the bonus is going to be pure elemental damage, and using stuff like the fire tear, flame damage strength, and fire scorpion charm, it has helped you do way more damage. It doesn't require as much of the status specs to actually do it. And the fire spark bottle is going to be more useful as like a secondary option with a dexterity build, because one, this one actually does have an 18 arcane requirement, so it's going to require this 4 stat investment, and it does give you physical damage, which you already have access to with the dexterity build, but this other actually does form as a good secondary option, just to be able to fuck poison in general, because its skill at Deadly Poison Spray does fuck poison on yourself and nearby enemies in basically an instant. And then you just gotta instantly pop all these poison buffs, and it's helped you do like another 40% damage for the next 20 seconds, which can definitely help you melt a bunch of different types of bosses. And the best thing is, you don't even need to actually meet the requirements of Arcane just to be able to use the skill. So if you really ever wanted to maximize damage, you could do something like this, which might be a bit annoying to set up, but it is possible. But yeah, as a primary option with an arcane build, it is going to do pretty well. But I think things like the Poison Hand or the Venomous Fang, which are other really light weapons that can actually give you access to deadly poison, are just going to be better because those weapons can output either higher DPS or just much more dance damage.
Like the hardest thing to get started. It's the ideas and the choices, which ones to push out. And I think are very human discipline. We started to deal with computers from the entire levels of abstraction.
Number 2 is the Fire Smart Perfect model, which this model is actually the highest damaging one at these medium levels. Like if you're around about level 150 or below, this is probably the perfect model to use. And it doesn't just get a pure dexterity scaling, but it's a much better dexterity scaling compared to all of the other perfect models. And it's only when you get to about like 80 dexterity and 60 strength that the lightning bottle is actually going to help out damage this. And being that it is fire damage, you do get access to things like flame deadly strength, so it's help boost the damage even further. Now the thing is, there are a lot of different
Are you ready for it?
especially at DLC that are very resistant to fire damage. And any single time that there's water around or it's raining, you're just going to be doing a lot less damage as well. And it's sort of points that the other current models could just outdamage it. But I think the main use of this weapon is that it's probably going to pair perfectly alongside a dexterity build. Every single dexterity build probably benefits of using the fire smart perfect model, because with these builds, you don't typically get access to fire damage. You always get physical damage, and you have access to lightning damage, which is infusions, but fire damage is always effectively for strength. So any single time that you're actually using a dexterity build and fighting enemies that are related to fire damage, you can just slap on the perfect model, especially if they're actually larger. Things like an Earth 3 avatar, just stand there running heavy attacks at point blank range, and everything is just going to get destroyed. It doesn't require much setup, it's extremely light, low refinements, and you're just going to benefit greatly. Number 1, the light skin perfect model. Now, as I mentioned, it's not going to get as much damage as things like the fire spark model at the medium level. It only wants to get to about like 80 dexterity and 60 base that you really start to notice it's doing more damage. But the reason why I'm still going to put it higher is because lightning damage is the best elemental damage type in the game. A lot of enemies are related to it, and any single time that it's raining or there's water around, you're just doing like 20% more damage. Hence, this thing has a split fade scaling, so you have access to all these different types of fade-based buffs that is further improve the damage. So if you do want to have like a primary currency model, I think this one is going to be the best option. Now as a secondary option, it's probably not going to do as well as something like the fire spark model, because with the dexterity build, you already have access to lightning damage with the lightning infusions. But I do think this weapon does very nicely as a secondary option for fate-based builds. And yes, you do already have access to lightning damage with a fate-based build, but one, there aren't many fate-based types and weapons. So in most cases, if you have a fate build, you're probably going to have a fire-based weapon or a holy weapon. And if you actually were fighting some enemies like in the rain or weak to lightning damage, you could just have this in your back pocket and use it in those instances. But even though some of the lightning spells are really good, they tend to be either one, really expensive, and also just pretty slow. There isn't really like a quick and short range lightning based spell, but that's where the lightning Pokeballs can come into play. It's going to be quick and easy to use. As I mentioned, that running heavy attacks can certainly be pretty fine, and it's just not going to consume that FP. Okay, that is the video now done and completed. As always, let me know what your opinions are down in the comments below. The next video is going to be the great katanas. We're probably going to touch on them, all 3 of them. We're going to rank them from worst to best, but definitely do subscribe to that one. And yeah, I'll catch you guys around. Bye.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be exploring this abandoned mansion. It's built in 2021. So this house along with that one, like the whole neighborhood here is being demolished. Hundreds of homes are being torn down in this area for a new infrastructure project. So this is one of many. This place was just boarded up about 2 weeks ago. Just moved down in here. Look at the size of this house, guys. Absolutely massive mansion, all boarded up. Not something you see every day, but there's going to be a lot of these for the garage. Nice stone and these little like four bells here above the garage doors, the arches. Pretty nice architecture. There's a garage here, but that's sealed. So you come to the back, they got this, it appears to be like a basketball court maybe. Yeah, there's a basketball hoop there. And they boarded up the garage pretty good. You have an in-ground pool, pretty small pool. But definitely would be nice. There's the back of the house, all boarded up. This place is going to be small. It's about 4 years old. It's going down. Absolutely crazy. Very quick, you got you can see on the side. Oh yeah, that's better from here. So let's get inside and check.
Lysol knows. When the whole house is sick, your laundry is sick. Adding Lysol laundry disinfectant kills 99.9% of illness-causing bacteria and detergents leaving behind. They'll just clean, disinfect.
Here's the $750 in value. Start by opening a new eligible TV checking account.
Alright guys, we just made our way inside the front door here. Got an absolutely amazing house to check out. This place is pretty unique. It's a custom built home. Built only in 2021. And this place is already set for demolition. So as of right now, it's just 4 years old. This place is going to be demolished.
Worried about Maverick, actually.
By the government for
What are you playing?
infrastructure project. And your place is absolutely incredible. For being a house as new as this is, it's actually really nice. I'm usually not a fan of these more modern houses, but this one I like. Just because of all like the details and stuff like this. Like that's really nice, all that tile work. Obviously this is all real tile. It's actually done pretty well, considering how big this place is.
We just shut down Canucks.
So that's pretty nice.
University is continuing to show that he is the #1 building. 922 and 60 saves percentage.
Double doors. So we'll go this way first. There's a small roof here in the front. Now I imagine this probably would have been like an office, although it is set up like a bedroom and then a closet. I'm not entirely sure what this room would have been. It's a very large house or something. The house actually goes in there pretty far. You can see all of the interior doors have been removed from this house. So,
Good evening, my fellow Americans. The voices you hear in this video are not the real voices of this individual. All voices have been AI generated and are strictly for entertainment purposes. Things get a little crazy in the movie between us, so use discretion at the time.
This video also in no way is meant to reflect any political views of mine or anyone else.
Thank you for watching this chocolate chocolate stick. Gentlemen, are we ready for some more baseball?
Oh my god, yes. Last game was an absolute thriller. Went down to the wire.
Then that last game was an absolute snooze fest. Didn't pick up until the 8th inning, which is when I stole the show in American Park. But I got us to read and close out the game, Donnie. Oh, good morning, Joe. Colin, it's 9 p.m. 9 p.m.? That's 2 hours past your bedtime. You better say goodnight to everyone. Barry will be there in 10 minutes to touch your bed.
no, we are not doing this again.
Oh, did you hear that, Joe? He even said he'd give you a goodnight kiss. Oh, did he really? Sure did. I most certainly did not. I think Barry and I had something.
I'll give you a good night kiss, Joe.
Enough. Good Lord, games in play. Absolutely. Donald, can we please play some MLB this day?
Yes, Gary, only because you're still driving.
Alright, boys. We ran a poll to see what the American people want in terms of teams for the next episode, and the results are in.
No, Donald, that wasn't even an option. Sixers versus Celtics. First of all, Jim, this is baseball, not basketball. Second, the poll was for teammate pairings, not actual teams who were used in the play.
I want to see a little better, a little more clear.
I'm not little. I'm 5'6" and 3/4.
I don't know, Google search results are all over the place. Anywhere from 5'4" to 5'9".
5'9". That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, sure. All right, we're getting off topic now. Anyway, Ben, what are the teammate pairings?
So it'll be Obama and Biden against Trump and myself.
I'm not playing.
Why, Donald?
Because Ben is more annoying than a chihuahua.
God, I love chihuahuas.
Let's just say, hypothetically, for the sake of the argument, that I was more annoying than a chihuahua.
That's it right there.
Great job, guys. Because we should have just get right into this game. I had to spend $22 and upgrade our subscription on 11 laps.
Wow, they're breaking the fourth wall, stepping up the
Fourth wall?
Donald, you're building another?
Wait till the
Yes.
All right, before we get nasty comments from our viewers, can we just get into this damn game? Please.
Sir, yes, sir.
Are we just going to ignore the fact that everyone is yelled at this movie?
All right, in an effort to shorten this episode of video and not go on until the end of the return garage, can you please pick the team rather than have them do it?
Let's just say, hypothetically, for the sake of the argument, that it did go on for that long. We would have an increased ad revenue if we went over that 8-minute mark.
I'll give you a pass this one, Ben, because my value, I love money.
Yeah, Donald, you're going to need that extra ad revenue to pay back to the IRS.
We are not
What is your call? Rapidly moving on. Yes, Donald, I will pick our team.
Donald, please put the cherry on top, and we be the White Sox.
Absolutely not. They lost to their losers. I only pick winners. Ben and I will be the world champion team in basketball.
The hell we will.
No, absolutely not.
They are a great team. They came to visit after they won it all in 2017. That roster was full of hard-working, talented ball players.
Donnie, buddy, they cheated that year.
Oh, I bet. Where'd you hear that? Where's your fake news station?
Donald, it was covered everywhere. They 100% cheated.
So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And I admire the footage.
Why did you sound like a member of the Outsiders right there? Yeah, that was weird. You sounded like a greaseball.
Freezer.
I don't know what the hell that was. Don't ever do that to me again.
Well then, Joe, I think it's only right that we pick the fight. The who? I don't follow Ultimate Frisbee. No, Joe, it's a nickname for the Phillies. Oh, the Phillies. I love the Phillies. I was so upset when they lost the World Series last year to the, who did they lose to again? Kirk Gilligan, Joseph.
Have fun, man.
Concentrate putting the envelope to do things that will do creating products that make people's lives better and safer.
When what's inside is wild caught fish with preservatives, you can expect a taste of the ocean. Cloverleaf. Taste it and see.
Time to pick a stadium. And Donald, you're not allowed to pick this time.
Well, don't make a Mickey Mouse field if we won't have any.
Stop disrespecting the polo ground.
So it was one. All right, then how about we choose a creative stadium built by this player?
That sounds like fun, Barry.
I'd much rather play one of them. I have much more faith in the American team than the team that's spending millions of dollars in marketing and this team.
How about this one? It's called Let It Slide, and population of Great British Park. So Donald, it should be a very high score.
This is less than the last team that did it. That's it. Look at it.
Maybe you should have hit the ball harder than you.
Oh, you know what? There should have been more runs. I forgot Sleepy Joe fell asleep on the base path every time he had a man on base.
I would like to thank all of you for not looking to do the Donald field. Same thing again, is that really what it is? I did that.
Number of innings will be 9, right?
Oh, no, absolutely not. It's not waiting.
Don't like it.
Donald, come on, for real.
I'll compromise to pick 6. That way each of doesn't get an even amount of innings played.
Fine. Things don't pick up like the third innings are now. So yes, if you listen closely, I didn't say Joe, I said Jill.
I don't know, Joe. I'm not finding it.
Yeah, listen. Say this once. I did one. I would be doing
Not fair, Donald. Not even one.
Donald, as a businessman, you wouldn't want to go through. Compromise a bit, maybe?
one and not one more. And not one less either. No, one less would be perfectly fine.
Alrighty, baseball fans. We got Joe Biden on the bus to start things out for the Phillies and Donald Trump at the plate for the Astros.
I thought they were the Astros. They are, Joey. Barry was trying to make a cute joke about some fake news he heard on the Zero to the podcast.
I'll have you know that my quote-unquote little podcast bring in hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah, well, I have more followers.
Well, at least I have a Twitter.
So do I, because it's me to way to stay up to date on the news. What the hell, Joe? Caught him looking. I wasn't even
Jesus,
ready.
ouch.
What the hell did I already have two strikes?
I turned on quick counts to help speed the game up a bit.
Last game, you gave us the faulty controller, and this game, you think you said it was about our knowledge. Got it.
Yeah, Barry, Barry, just let us turn that on.
You're fair, you're still out. Sit down. See ya. Barry, I'm not going to be able to get that.
No worries, Joe. That was the goal of choosing this part. Lots of offense.
You're Dawn? More like you're done. Sit down, fool.
Wow, Joe Biden was a singer.
Hey, Ben, shut the hell up. All right, we got one. All we will need is my thanks.
Donald believes in one run will still not be enough.
Yeah, Donald, maybe the field goal or two. Joey B ties it up with one swing of the paddle.
It's a nice dinner, Joe.
Out comes Dusty Baker. It looks like he's signaling for Ben Shapiro to come out of the pen.
Then you wait your hand turn like this is the way you go. Now let me begin my composure.
Composure? You?
You just wait. Next at bat, he's going to blow that toupee right off your head.
Damn.
Why is there a towel on top of the dugout?
Yeah, Donald, get off the dugout.
Actually, Donald, I'm going to stop you right there. I don't know who you're going to say, but Joe already put us on thin ice in the beginning of the video. And we are only on episode 2 of this series. And let's maybe dial it back a bit.
Well, it just looks like I was going to say this is actually the first joke. And once again, these two got 16. What did I say again?
Now batting for the Astros, Ben Shapiro.
Damn, I think that's out.
Out of what? We're not out of chocolate device thing, are we? Out of the park. Way to go, man. Keep it up. I might make you my vice president.
Donald, I've watched enough Celebrity Apprentice to know that that is not a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, no, they're going to get a touchdown here.
Go to second bet, I dare you.
Maybe it's the Super Bowl. Then get the hell back.
Damn, thought he was asleep out there.
What the actual hell? I would expect that from Sleepy Joe, but not Sleepy.
So is that it's off the table? It's like the ex-girlfriend. This one is out.
Although I highly doubt you ever talked to the girlfriend, you certainly could see you out there. Well done. Come on, Barry, bring that back in.
You just wait, Donald. We'll come back.
About time we got another outfit on.
Piss off, Joe. Maybe you can score more than one run. And that'll get us out of it. Just kidding. This guy has a reaction to the problem.
That's it. Blame the player, not the guy controlling. Looks like I caught Joe well. Remember, Joe, it is never your fault. It's always your people.
Let's see if we can manage this guy.
Stop trying, Barry. My turn in the kitchen.
Joe's only the second.
Fuck that. Check down. Let it go, Barry. We've got a big day tomorrow. It's hard at work to
Swing it a bit. Just like your third time.
Man, the third term is in effect.
How did you know? Have you had one attack as a failure?
No, but I've had a second. How about you? Damn it.
No, Joe cheated me out of one. Remember? I heard my name. It's the fifth inning.
Already in the low 500,000 tickets is taking precedence with movement and available messages.
Vegas this time. Interesting.
As you step into your home here at Community Crescent, you'll see an open layout with 9-foot ceiling height, a full-size appliance package, and air conditioning in our home. Walking into your primary bedroom, you'll have a full walk-in closet with closet organizer and your own ensuite washer. All homes come with beautiful-sized patio, gas hookup, and a chance for yourself to enjoy barbecuing in summer months. With only 5% down, you have a chance to own your home. Oh boy,
This could be a tough one. Wow, that was close. Hypothetically, that's insane.
Now, Ben, let me stop you there. This is your one hypothetical. Is it worth it?
Actually, probably not. I'm gonna save it.
Oh, Ben, double it and give it to the next person. No, Joe, we aren't doing any of that bullshit.
Oh, I knew you'd do that.
Donald, before you yell.
You hit 3 home runs this inning because of that, and only because of that. I will hesitate to let this one fly.
You tagging on this one, Barry?
I don't know, Ben. Oh, there we go.
All part of the plan.
My bad, Joe. I thought I was going to do it.
What happened? Way to go, Ben. You will see the young caliber playing to come back to Curtis. That's fine. This guy sucks anyway. Give me my hit for the team.
Donald Jose Abreu was the American League's most valuable player in 2020.
2020? That was a Mickey Mouse season.
Led by a Mickey Mouse president.
That's all we can do.
Get up. Just didn't have to carry, guys.
Sure, Barry turned the wind all the way up to the outfield and like that.
Yep. Because that is definitely a specific feature in this game.
Donald already swinging to the fairway.
Yeah, Donald, blame your caddy on that one. Looks like he gave you the wrong phone.
Donald's a great golfer. Don't disrespect him.
I'm sorry, how many country clubs do you own?
Oh, I'm not big into country music, so no.
Joe gets behind me, but you can't side of the track.
Track, like track and field, how did you get from water polo to track and field?
Joe, are you having trouble paying attention? Baseball,
That one isn't coming back. Way to go, Joey.
Great and surprising display of power from Brandon Harm.
Oh my God. What is it, Joe? It's him.
Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Alrighty then.
That's tactical, Donald.
I'm going to show you how to do that for us.
That was some highway robbery, Donald.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. 355 people practice at dead center field.
Donald, I told you I would pick this field specifically for you, and you said fuck
In
it.
Barack, I told you not to pick another Mickey Mouse field, and here we are.
Steve Willie is my favorite Mickey Mouse field. How about you guys? Donald, I told you this field was going to produce a lot of offense. And be fair for both sides.
There was no mention that it was a fucking little league field, Barry.
Well, I'm sorry for any confusion that may have occurred.
I'm sorry your judgment sucks when it comes to taking more respect to the field. Nobody's going to continue to watch this shit if you keep selecting the process.
Donald, our previous video hit 100,000 views in not even 3 days. It was pretty successful, especially for it being on such a dead channel.
Ben, I'm willing to bet Barack and Joe about every single one of those meetings.
Come on, wrap around that big yellow pasta. Just foul, Joe.
You know what else is foul?
Your mom. Seriously, how old are you?
Another shutdown inning from the greatest step on the major league, or in this case, a two-ball field.
Donald, you gave up 2 runs.
And a home run to the coach, Mr. Brandon.
That's because I want to get Barry and Joey all excited and make sure they have a chance. Tease them a little bit. Look at that awful play. That's elimination. But then it's
I can't control the speed of these games of Donald.
Oh, man. It's like you and Donald are still stuck in August. You know the time it is stuck to play.
what is this sudden hype around country music? Typical interest in the event.
Yeah, man, too much country music. Right, Barry? Well, no, country club, Joe. Went to the sport. Oh, for cross country. I got it. Ooh, big act with no results.
Peter got you again, Barry.
Must have been Donald distracting him on top of the dugout. Did we protest the game, Barry?
Sorry, couldn't hear you all the way down there in the bottom of the door.
Here we go. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Sports Center content.
Oh, come on.
Little play.
Catch that, Joe.
Good shot, that's one. the actual help. We didn't even have to jump for it. No need to when you're built like me, Mr. Cooper. Kyle, what is it?
If he does not feel like diving, they wouldn't let me go on.
If there's no need to dive, you don't feel like that.
See, Ben gets it. He's being sarcastic or whatever. There we go, turn that shit. Come on, Jim. Got them both. No, you didn't. They were both safe. It was a bad throw. But they both caught it.
The fielder has to be on the base and catch it before the runner gets there, Joe.
Bullshit. You asked me that.
Gotta hit that harder, Donald.
You know what I'm going to get harder off?
Little league field and nothing to show for it.
It's slider, very dead.
Donald, every single slider is on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, come on.
Easy, 1, 2, 3, 8.
Sorry, Veronica. I'm really trying here. Very close. Who said that?
Legendary Master Jedi Yoda, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, didn't you two go to high school together? Think you were both the same age?
Want to solve these work issues before they have downtime? No problem. How about generating restricted minutes that used to take hours? You get it.
Come on, man.
What?
You literally topped out the first field on it.
Donald, I disagree. I think our right fielder take us down there. My point exactly.
Way to put some runs up on the board, man. Keep it up, Slugger.
Relax, Donald. You gotta close the game out like FNDS. Here's the trumpet.
Well, we'd love to, but that would get us copyrighted from Veronica.
Let me know, Barry.
Didn't expect that to come from them.
That was a normal target. But the rock corner to pick a field for the text that we don't have.
One down. Looking back. And got it.
Save it first.
You can keep it as long as Jed takes to wake up and throw the damn ball.
The hell did you call me?
There we go.
Go Bears, go. Relax, Joe. You have to catch it first.
Closer than I thought it would be, but it's only a one-run game now.
Get it in the over. And now we do it. Keep on doing that. The greatest thing to ever play up the
Oh no.
You're all tied up. Here comes stop the winner.
Oh, Barry, you got really freaky there.
Yeah, I did, but we tied it up, Joe.
Donald, listen, I thought that. Hypothetically, had I caught that ball.
Oh, no. My goodness, you didn't get out because of you and your grown second back. But don't worry, I'm sure you can cry about it on your next 5 minutes. And all your fanboys and fangirls will cheer you up and falsely tell you how much to argue on.
Geez, Donald, it's a video game. Lighten up a bit.
Shut up, Barry. Oh, wait, the country club likes the golf. I got it now.
Really, Joe?
Donald, when can I talk again?
I officially pardon you, Ben.
Thanks, Joe.
What girl, you can't do that. I'm the captain of this game.
And I'm the President of the United States, so kiss my ass.
Perfect, boys. This is a
I won't get too cocky, Mark. Never mind, offline throw.
Come on, Brandon. I had so much faith in you.
Let's go, Joe. Who's on now? Donald, how did we even make contact on that? That PCI placement is brutal.
You do it then, Donald. See how easy it is for you.
Don't you worry, Ben. Don't you everything else.
Except when it comes to re-election time.
Geez, Donald. If I was a cop, I would have pulled you over for swerving on that one.
It's the stick drift on Barry's controller.
Donald, you want some cheese with that wine? I'll take some, Barry.
It's nice drift, Joe. I'm losing runner over. Tying up is now on third. One bad pitch from you and all lined up.
Let's go, Brandon. I got faith in you.
Maybe not.
Bring the ball, Donald. Look who's about to blow it now.
People can trust now, boys.
Damn it, we not make it.
Nothing more you could have done, Joe. Just hit it right through.
Of course, you could have not hit it right through. Oh no, what did I do wrong?
Donald.
Just kidding, I win. Once again, you wrote the back of the fan, and you can sort it against
Yeah, 2020. It's not.
It was a Mickey Mouse deal, remember that?
That's right, Barry. Tune in next time when I share yet another one of these views of the victory.
Huh. Oh, this team's old.
Shared incident. Your moral is limitless. So I know we are all still one of the runner-ups in the podium of this tournament in its entirety. A man who is walking away a hero, yet without any hardware at all. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about Yuri Slafkovsky once again. We've been making videos about this guy the entire Olympics because not only has he finished the tournament off as one of the top point scorers in the entire tournament, but he's taken over his country in the best way possible. We're going to be diving into Yuri Slafkovsky and his heartbreaking interview today, plus some extra tidbits, news, information about Slafkovsky and the Slovak team towards the end of this Olympic break and these Olympic Games. So obviously, Yuri Slafkovsky, pretty notable story back from the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympic Games. He was the tournament MVP, scoring himself 7 goals in 7 games total. He had 0 assists, but he was the #1 goal guy by quite a long shot. Slafkovsky's World Championship run, where he had 9 points in 8 games, along with his playoffs, where he was half a point a game in the Liga, and especially that Olympic stint, were part of the reasons why Slafkovsky was even taken first overall by Montreal. He was 17 when he did all that, by the way. So when Slafkovsky ended up going back over to the Olympics, this time in a full best-on-best tournament, spare the Russians, I guess, expectations were through the roof. And for the most part, Yuri Slafkovsky did live up to the hype. 8 points in 6 games played. He had himself a higher point per game number. Sure, he had fewer goals, but Slafkovsky was a total monster at generating opportunities, pushing play the right way for his team, and just being a skilled, top-to-move, son-of-a-gun menace of a hockey player. What a stud Yuri Slafkovsky was. In fact, there were some interesting pieces of info and nice little moments that we had seen out of Yuri Slafkovsky even after Slovakia lost to Finland in the bronze medal game. Take a look at Kapanen and Slafkovsky in the handshake line. These guys, of course, are very beneficial hockey players for each other because Kapanen's presence on Slafkovsky's line allows him the goal-scoring opportunities, and Slafkovsky has totally become another animal at the NHL level ever since playing with Kapanen and Demidov. You also had yourselves this post made by Goon Glorious on the subreddit, talking about how Yuri Slafkovsky is so popular in Slovakia right now that teachers have to ask students to do projects about other known people from his hometown. Take a look at this notification from EduPage and what they say in Slovak over here. This is an image of a notification circulating from a school app used for grades. Here in Slovakia, it's circulating Slovak communities on social media right now. Translation of the relevant part. Here's your homework. Project on A4 paper. A description of any significant person from Kosmix. Please choose someone other than Yuri Slafkovsky. So, Slafkovsky is literally so popular that students are being forced to do their projects on other people from the same area because this guy just takes up too much of the forefront, the amygdala, the perception of what a celebrity is in this area of Slovakia. That's amazing. But with all that said, Slavkovsky did lose the bronze medal. He lost the gold and the silver. He was not playing for a medal because he lost. And there was an interview done after the fact with the Slovak media that I wanted to dive into here because Luby went out there and posted a whole bunch of the quotes that were relevant. They've been making the rounds on our tabs and the subreddit and the Twitter and everything. Here's what Slavkovsky said after Slovakia's bronze medal loss versus Finland. I enjoyed the tournament. Apart from the last 2 days, I expected a lot more from myself, both today and yesterday, and from the team as well. We have to learn from this experience, and we'll see where we are in 4 years. Now, I love the way that Yuri Slavkovsky is already saying, yeah, we got to come back 4 years later, we're going to run it back, and at that point, we're going to see how good we are, and we want to improve so that we're good enough at that stage. It's like, oh, well, we don't really know if NHL players are even going to be allowed to go to the Olympics in 2030, so if Slavkovsky's already planting the seeds, that's a good sign. Another post made by Parhams on the Twitters talks about Slavkovsky's comments after losing. I think being fourth and being last is the same thing. We don't get the medal, so it sucks.
Are you ready for a new level? You can take full control of your AI girl. Choose what she does. Decide how she moves, how she looks, and how she speaks. Be your next choice. Are you ready for a new level?
Let's get on there to Luby's Twitter and read the full transcription over here. The TV expert then said, we've just watched our future captain talking in the next Olympic Games. Definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tomas Tatar. As much as we love you here in Montreal, I don't know if he's going to be able to play at the next Olympics. He might have retired by then. Who really knows? Slavkovsky, though, I mean, he's only 21 years old right now, he'll be 25 by the next Olympics. He should be okay, assuming NHL players actually go. We went out there and gave us the questions and the answers. So, obviously, this is a very, very good transcription. Question. The Finns kept a close eye on Slavkovsky today. You're right, fourth place in the tournament featuring NHL players. I can see a lot of emotions on you. Could you try to describe them a little? Well, in my opinion, to be fourth or to be last is the same, and it's not any medal. So, we were close, 2-1, when we went into the third period, and once again, we lost it ourselves. The next question, there's a real hunger in your game. Did you want to win for the Slovakia nation? The whole of Slovakia has come alive with hockey the past few days. Slav said, well, of course we wanted to win. Each and every one of us wanted to win. But we were unfortunately the worst team, and we didn't win. Yeah, for you personally, this was your first major tournament featuring NHL players. What kind of experience did it give you? And then Slav said, I enjoyed the tournament for the last few days. He expected more. He wanted more. He wants to help this Slovak team get better accomplishments in the next Olympics. So obviously, that is a leader's mentality right there. Say what you want about the projections of some of these other teams in the next 4 seasons or so, but Team Slovakia, assuming guys like Nemec and Dvorsky and Slavkovsky keep on growing their game, we might be able to see a level of competition that rivals some of the other Olympic nations we have seen. Oddly enough, you can say Germany is an interesting example of this. Their top-tier guys are absolutely elite. Stutzla, Peterka, Draisaitl, Seider. But the depth runs up quickly. Slovakia had a lot of guys that were actually pretty good, but they were also young. And so I think longer term, there is a lot of excitement to be had here, despite the heartbreak in 2020. I was about to say 2024, excuse me, 2026. Just take a look at some of the other sports over here. So many athletes, and I'm thinking Canadian athletes specifically. Does anybody else watch his speed skating and looking at him going out there and pretty much blowing all of the races that he was projected to win medals in? That's a guy that also, for the first time in his career, suffered the devastating emotions of loss on the Olympic stage. But that guy's still young. He's going to come back. In 2030, he's probably going to win a few. Yuri Slavkovsky, I'm not saying he's going to win a few, because unfortunately, for most NHL players, you can only win 1 medal per year. But it's a similar kind of thing.
growth and what this experience meant to Slovakia and for Slavkovsky. Even though he was a part of the Olympic team in 2022 when he won, he was the MVP, he was so good, but he was 17 playing against non-NHL competition. There's a lot more to learn here, and there's a lot more to be excited for. So with that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Yuri Slavkovsky and his heartbreaking comments after the gold, silver, and bronze medal loss? Nothing for Slovakia this year. It sucks, but they're...
An unforgettable taste experience. Linked Dubai-style chocolate. Now available in stores.
I'm at orthopedic surgery at the University of Virginia. Wahoo wah.
Yeah, you. What you see on the screen right now is a chart of all the best seals and staffs at different levels. I'm going to be referencing this throughout the entire video, so I thought to just show this at the beginning. But for today, then, we are going to be ranking all of the 6 new panelists that are in the DLC from worst to best. There are 3 seals, 2 staffs, and 1 weapon catalyst that is going to cast sorceries. And ranking them isn't going to mean much. Just focus more on what I'm saying about these, because they all do have uses, but some will just be more niche than others. Starting off at bottom, we have Sorcery Sword. This is your lone weapon catalyst in this game. It is a thrusting sword, which does get the regular light attack combos, does get 110 crits, C-scaling and intelligence, split magic damage, but the heavy attacks do actually allow you to cast sorceries. Now, to upgrade this weapon, it does require spitting stones, and you can't infuse it, so 1, you're going to be stuck with a Paling Thrust, and 2, you can't make it a magic infusion, so therefore you can't really improve the spell damage, which it definitely does lack, so this thing only gets a C-scaling and intelligence. Most other staffs in the game get S-scalings. Now, typically, weapon catalysts across the other games, they're never going to be the most optimal option. There are going to be better weapons out there, and there are going to be better catalysts out there. But the purpose of weapon is going to be, 1, the fun factor, the convenience, and sometimes you can have those instances of which you do get some cool combos. Those are primarily going to be for PvP though. But the reason why this one sucks so much is because the spell damage is just horrendous. It just gets way worse spell damage compared to every other staff at every single level. I compared it to the Meteorite staff, which is just like a very average staff to use throughout the entire game. It is very good early on because it already comes maxed out, but later on it does fall off pretty hard. And comparing the damage against Millennia with Carrion Slicer, it was just getting way less damage at every single level of intelligence. And when you get to those higher levels and you start with the better staffs, like the Carrion Regal Scepter or the Lusat staff, this thing is going to be doing like almost 3 times as much damage. Which is fine that the best staffs are just going to be the best for actually casting spells, but this thing should be like at least somewhat potent to it. It should definitely be better than most staffs. Because 1, you get it in the DLC, which is like obviously very late in the game, and 2, it doesn't actually have a secondary effect to boost certain types of spells. So it still would be very balanced if it just like the next thing facilities have damage, then you don't start with finishing